It's now 5 minutes past 7 o'clock. Good morning. My name is Victor Oloo. Now let's take a look at what's on our front pages of our local dailies. But before then, our guests are already in studio and I will be taking you to them briefly for people and politics. On the front page of the Star newspaper, 3 governors in trouble over graft. We have got anti-corruption agency targets prisons chiefs in 450 million shillings scandal. That's also on the front page of the Star newspaper. On the Daily Nation, Ruto's sticky mess. Now, it says that for the deputy president, when it rains, it pours. Only days after bagging the Kenya Kwanza presidential ticket, he must now select a running mate from an increasingly thinning stable. All right? Craft deals with other ambitious political parties, shake off a new court case arguing that for his resignation, while all the while warding off criticism against the integrity credentials of the courtier of politicians hanging around him. That's one of the front page of the Daily Nation. We have got outliers who have refused to ride the popularity wave. We have got several politicians there. We have got Kiretu Murungi, who is the governor of Meru. We have got James Njeru, Kiambu, Nderitu Murithi, Laikipia, as well as Alex Tolgos of Elgeyo Marakwet. That's on the front page of the Daily Nation. And I have the front page of the Standard here, our pledge to Kenyans. On the Standard. Now, what will their presidency look like? A closer look at Raila and Ruto speeches when they were declared and cleared to vie for presidency and what they said at Chatham House reveals their policy direction. That's what's the front page of the Standard. We have got the picture of ODM leader Raila Odinga there and Deputy President William Ruto. Now, let me give you one thing. One, Deputy President Ruto promised to invest in agriculture to increase productivity and make Kenya food secure. Number 2, we'll seek economic inclusion, reform economy from the trickle-down to bottom-up model. What about Raila Odinga? Pledge to leverage on Uhuru's infrastructure development projects to drive industrialization. And second one, promised 6,000 shillings per month to 2 million needy families and to scale up universal healthcare. That is what's in their manifesto and what they're promising Kenyans. Again, that's what's on the front page of the Standard. And finally, on the front page of the People Daily, the ODM cast, despite party assuring aspirants of free, fair and verifiable primaries, contestants continue to stream out claiming insincerity in conduct of internal polls slated for mid-April. So we have got many and a myriad of actually leaders who have been decamping from one party to another. We have got Philip Kutima, ODM, and moved to DAPK. We have got Almas Otieno, who also moved from ODM to Jubilee. We have Andrew Mwadime, Jack Ranguma, who ditched ODM to undisclosed. He's not yet disclosed his party. We have got Joash Maangi, who moved from ODM to UDA, and David Nkedienye, ODM to Jubilee. But anyway, we still have that happening across political lines, and before the deadline for the party nominations, a lot will be happening. And finally, Uhuru's grand plan to consolidate and revitalize Jubilee. President has promised aspirants wishing to vie on ruling party ticket various goodies, among them funding their campaigns. That sounds like a good deal. Even me, I would go for that anyway. All right. Now it's time to introduce my panel today. All right. So let me start with Senator Njeru Ndwiga. Welcome to the show, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
This sounds like a good deal. Imagine you are running on Jubilee ticket and you're being funded. You'd go for that, right?
No.
Why?
I wouldn't. You don't just jump on any moving bus because there are suites in the bus.
Right.
You must know where the bus is going. Yes.
Okay. I'll get to more of that very briefly. Let me talk to Kevin Nyamai, who is a member of Parliament, Thika constituency. Mheshimiwa, karibu to the show.
Thank you so much.
Tujijenge party. What's building in the party? Tujijenge.
Thank you so much for having us.
Karibu sana.
Asante. We are grateful that you have considered us. I think Tujijenge means build ourselves.
Yes.
You give yourself an environment where you are able to sustain yourself and your family, and also the economy of the country.
Yes.
Plus many others. Yes.
All right. And Rose Mulwa, who is the gubernatorial aspirant and as well as in Machakos County. Mwesh, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You're being sandwiched. Are you feeling the heat from both ends?
I feel very comfortable and very safe. Thank you so much for having us today.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me start with you now that you are on the microphone. The issue of party nominations is coming slated for April. And we are seeing a lot of politicians now crisscrossing from one party to another. What's the case? Is it because of the party nominations and the political parties bill, which bars many politicians from decamping from one party to another? Let me say most of the politicians are having tumbojoto, so to speak.
Yeah, I want to say I'm the party leader of Empowerment and Liberation Party.
Yes.
That is ELP. And this one was bound to happen, because that's why in my previous episode I've been telling people who are aspiring to be aspirant, I've been telling them you don't need to stick to a particular party because it has been there for a long time. We have got more than 82 political parties which are registered by the IBC and the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. And instead of going through Argon, I've been telling the aspirants to join any party. The idea is you have a vehicle which can take you to the August election date.
Yes.
And that's why this one was bound to happen, and it's going to happen much more. And that's why we have got many parties, and they have got alternatives. And the people who are affected mostly are the people who are in the big parties, who have been there for a long time. And they went because they were going for a party.
Yes.
They were not going for their own wishes. They were not going so that they can be participants of in the election during the election in August.
Yes.
And for that, that's why I say we need neutral parties who can accommodate them. And like my party, I'm getting so many. We might not have been known at the national level, but now they are knowing us and they are coming in big numbers. And it's very unfair because what is happening, some people are being given direct tickets.
Yes.
And all along I said, in my party, that is Empowerment Liberation Party, we're not going for nominations. It's a platform where we want to accommodate
You're not
people.
going to for nominations. How are you going to pick your candidates?
It's very interesting because from the beginning, I expressed the desire of the party and the objectives of the party that we don't go to nominations because there are enough parties in Kenya. And 82 parties, let's say, like Mheshimiwa, where he's running as a senator.
Yes, in Embu County.
I don't think there are 82 aspirants who want to be senators. They might be 2 or they might be 3. So I'm saying that, and there's nowhere in Kenya where you find 80 aspirants running as MCAs in one ward. They are less. So I think in future we are going to do away with these nominations because one thing is expensive.
Yes.
And it is very emotional because people, some parties are here, the deeper the pocket,
exactly,
the chances you stand.
You know, when you talk about emotions, it's one of the biggest headache that you as politicians you're facing because you don't know, once you're nominated as, given that nomination certificate, then you're as good as elected. Let me come to you, Mheshimiwa Senator. From your past experience, she's saying that very soon the issue of nominations will be scrapped off. So what next then?
I don't know when that will be.
Yes.
Because
that is just her wish, you know, depending on how things are right now.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I say I don't know when that will be. But the essence of multipartyism is that people should gravitate towards parties which fulfill their beliefs. That this is what I believe in and I will move in this direction. Most of the times, it's also the communities where we come from. What do they believe in? Right. Right? What do they believe in? Now, what I would like to see are parties with very clear manifestos. And I would want to see a situation where, in this country, that people don't just gravitate to a party because of the personalities in the party. the leadership of the parties. But just because they should gravitate towards parties which have clear manifestos that address the concerns of their people, that address the concerns of the country. That is what I would like to see.
Okay.
But in issues of nominations, I think they will be here for some time, for quite some time. Yeah, because even when we eventually get parties with clear manifestos,
yes,
people, there'll be more than one person willing to join that party. So there must be a clear way of getting the candidate for that party. I have no problem with a party which just gives a direct ticket.
Yes.
I wish I could get one.
Talk to Mheshimiwa here. Okay. Mheshimiwa Nyamai, you know, what's in a party? Initially, before you moved to Jijenge Party, you're in which party?
It's the first time I'm vying as the MP.
Perfect.
I have never jumped into politics, although I had the passion to serve the people of Kenya in different capacities.
Yes.
But what is there in a party? Manifesto, vision. What is that you are carrying forward? What is that you want to do for the people? But before that, for anybody who is young, for you to be in politics, it means you need to have a very stable account.
Exactly.
And politics and campaigns are extremely very expensive when it comes to you making up to the nomination and beyond. So I think what my party leader is saying is that if you get a chance to get a direct nomination, it's as good as you're already in the ballot. Then it means that you have been hit the challenges of going to look for money.
Yes.
And one thing that people should know is that first-timers are really facing it hard to go across the nomination level because you need to pay the nomination fee and all that. Then it comes a time when you need to be censored. You only need one candidate to go for the main event.
Yes.
Then your money goes to drain and you're left out there. Many people are still going to serious depression because of this.
Yeah.
So I think way forward, I agree with what she has said, although like what Mheshimiwa has said, it might not be tomorrow, but actually if we have about 80 parties in Kenya, why not affiliate yourself with one of them? The idea is to serve, but you find that most of these people want to be associated with big parties, with big names and all that stuff.
Yes.
Because maybe you think when you are from a big party, you command more force in the ground. But when I was going around as an MP for Thika town constituency, I discovered from the ground, people don't want to know the big parties. They want to know exactly what
The
you
personality.
bring. The personality.
Yes.
What is your background? What have you done? And what can you do different from what others have done? And I think that's the main important thing. The other thing is that we need to give voters that sensitization, education.
The civic education.
For civic education, which I think they have been bad so much. Very important.
You know, Mheshimiwa Njeru, the only thing that he's talked about is many politicians move from other parties because they think once you have a bigger party, quote unquote, then you will command masses, and therefore you're as good as elected. From your own experience, you've jumped from which party to UDA now? Initially?
I did not jump from any party. We were all in Jubilee.
All in Jubilee?
Yeah, we're in Jubilee.
And then you moved to UDA?
UDA is just a sprint out of Jubilee.
I don't think so.
It is. It's just a sprint out of Jubilee.
I don't think so. Jubilee, UDA is a new political party.
Well, it is. Just look at all of us who are in Jubilee. That's why we are there.
So it's not a split. It's a new party away from Jubilee.
It's just the Catholic Church and the Protestants. They were the same thing at one time.
But I know the bitter truth here is that I know what you're trying to avoid, but anyway, the fact that that jump from Jubilee, the splinter from Jubilee to UDA right now, how is it resonating well with the common Mwananchi on the ground? Because they're looking at the personality at the same time they're looking at the party.
And most of the times is the people on the ground that tells you where to go. Most of the times. I have been in this in politics for some time, and I know there's a time for the leader to lead and show people where they should go. You remember the days when we were fighting for multi-partyism, right? Now all these parties were not there. There was only CAN. Then parties emerged. And then you require to have leaders telling their people that this is the direction we should take. And that I'm going back to where I started from. I think of manifesto. What do you believe in? Yes. Which direction do you think the country should take?
Yes.
Right? We should take. And you listen to all sorts. Unfortunately, in this country, we do not have all these parties, all of them, ask them to put their manifesto on the table. They look like the same. Almost.
Actually, it's almost like a copy-paste.
It's
Exactly.
like copy-paste, yes? So then what? So then you move to which house? You just move to the house which is convenient at that moment. Yes, convenient at that moment, because all of them are the same. But I would like to clearly see, and I really hope that we will get to that day, where these manifestos are clearly different, right?
Yes.
Or clearly directed to the extent that if I pick her manifesto and put it here and go through it, clearly I can see in my mind, when we talk about agriculture, this is the direction we are going. And we will never deviate from this direction, right? If we're talking about ethos and ethics, that this is the direction we take as a party, and we will never divert from here. And anybody in this party who moves a step from here, we will throw them out of the party. And you see in developed countries that happens. In those developed countries, people think like America has only 2 parties.
Yes.
That's not true. It has a myriad of parties, but only 2 parties, at the end of the day, you get to hear of. Why? It's because them, and very clearly, their manifestos are so, are so clear-cut.
Yes.
Yes, so clear-cut. You are Republican, you are this because of this. You are Democrat because of this.
Yes.
And in those places, you could even go to a family where the head of the family is this party and the wife is the other and the children are, depending on what you believe in.
Depending on what you believe in. If you look at the number of years that America has been independent,
that is correct.
Compared to us, we are still a toddler.
That is why I say that one day, yes, we are not there yet. That one day I hope we will move towards that.
Mheshimiwa Rose, what Senator is talking about sounds more of, it's easy. But then, the copy-paste in our manifestos, it's you'll find Mheshimiwa Nyamai moving from one party, the following day he's the Secretary General of this party, he'll move to your party again, he's there the treasurer, another one goes to UDA, he's now the mobilizer in Embu County. All politicians gravitate. Like, for example, if you look at, so to speak, the big boys in the game, talk of Mheshimiwa William Ruto, talk of Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka, deputy, all of them, at one point they were together. So they know the game pretty well. They know the corridors of politics pretty well. It seems that getting a unique manifesto will be so hard because you know each other. You've moved from one party to a party hopping.
I think if I can comment on this,
yes,
I don't see the manifesto changing that much because whether you come from the eastern side, western side, central, the needs of Kenyans are the same. And that's why you will see all the politicians, when they stand on the platform, they are talking about health, they are talking about roads, they are talking about unemployment, they are talking about corruption. It is the same thing. So there will not be much change in the manifesto because the basic needs of all Kenyans, irrespective of the county you come from, they are the same. So the most important thing is that we work as a team. And because politics is not a big thing or it is not a strange thing. When people hear the name politics, like when I started, they said, you have entered politics.
Yes.
Then I told them, do you know the meaning of politics? Politics are just activities where decisions are made.
You make it sound so easy.
They are just activities where decisions are made and how to share resources for every county or to distribute the resources to the citizens. It is a place where people make decisions how to take powers, positions. And that's why when you see when they go behind the scene and they say there was some agreement, there was some MOU,
yes.
It is just a decision being made. Yes, the way you can say you have got office politics, you can have church politics. So it is just activities. It's not a bad thing. And that's why I'm telling Kenyans to wake up and not say politics are dirty. Politics are not dirty because decisions are made during the time by the politicians. And you don't let people who go there who make decisions which will have side effects, ill effects on your resources, on positions. And that's why I'm telling even all Kenyans, don't do politics behind the scene. Don't do politics.
What's so unique in your party, ELP?
Yeah. About ELP, the uniqueness of ELP is because it's not a regional party. Because most of the parties are regional. And they say, oh, ni mutu yetu. So we are going to that party. ELP, that is Empowerment Liberation Party, is a national party. And being as new as it is, I've got aspirants from all over the country.
Good.
From all the counties, from Lam to Western Kenya to Kisumu.
Yes.
Mount Kenya, I've got is from Kiambu. Yes. I've got Kirinyaga, Machakos, I have, and everywhere, Kisii. So it is the uniqueness of Empowerment Liberation Party. It is a national party. And another thing about it, we give freedom to our aspirants. They are not known. They are forgotten. These are the people I'm calling as Empowerment Liberation Party to come in big numbers, wanishike mkono, so that we can tell Kenyans that the story of politics must change. And with this, we'll stop talking about dynasties, we'll stop repeating people, and we'll start a new chapter. Because I feel Kenya, we have grown, we are big in numbers, we are many in numbers, and the way we have increased in population, the resources have increased, definitely, because we used to budget maybe 2 trillion, now it is over 10 trillion. That means, as we are increasing in number, we cannot say the resources are few because that we are many.
Yes.
God is not a man that he lies. He increases the number of people, he increases the resources. Yes. So there's enough for all of us.
Okay.
So the youth, I'm telling them, those who have been doing it behind the scene, please come in front and we do it and be partakers and make the decision. It is in decision making.
It is decision making.
Yeah.
All right, allow me to take a break. And when you come back, I still come back to you, Mheshimiwa, because I'm still interested to understand what's in a party. What's in a party? When you look at all the big names here, the party nominations, we have got the coalitions now. So many parties are now coming together to form coalitions, and some unique moves are happening. For example, Honorable Dalmas Otieno. Who imagined that Honorable Dalmas Otieno would move from ODM to Jubilee to Migori County? You understand what I'm saying? So what's in a party? So I'd like us to interrogate that further when we come back, and of course, matters of economy. Economy. And when I talk about economy, you as a mother in the middle, you know how it pinches the kitchen the most. We'll be right back after this.